But we did want to talk about it though because there is kind of like some conversation going around it. It was
I don't know, man. Like he said, we don't see Jake until episode 5. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. I don't get how it's supposed to be 8 parts, but I mean it's his channel. He can do whatever he wants. I think the only like real kind of problem and issue I had with it, I think it's great. Like it's dope. Like nobody makes content like this. You know, it's new, it's fresh, it's awesome. The only like kind of slight issue that I had with it was, and it's also about psychopaths and sociopaths. It's like the entire thing is about YouTubers like hinting and like suggesting that YouTubers and mainly Jake Paul are like sociopaths and psychopaths, and then it's like, oh wait, I'm not saying it directly, so then it's like it's okay. I'm not saying it directly, so it's okay, right? I can't just make a video making fun of people and calling people names. Not that he did. I'm just using it as an example. Relax. In the beginning of the video, just say, disclaimer, this is not to be like, I could, but it's like, that doesn't change the meaning of it.
PewDiePie's video does,
I think the series is dope, and I think it's great and awesome. I just think that the one tiny like little gripe that I have with it is that he's indirectly saying that like Jake and YouTubers and stuff are sociopaths and like psychopaths and stuff. And then like right when somebody brings it up, he goes disclaimers, and yeah, you can have disclaimers, but you're still the entire you know what I mean? It's like
an example. There's a
text on the screen that says disclaimer blah 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 doesn't like you can't make a 45-minute video about somebody being something and then just put one disclaimer text and it'd be like kind of okay. You know what I mean? And not that that's like can't be done, but it's just like you got to kind of like pick your sides, you know.
And also, like there's a part in the second episode where he says, "Oh, like this person or somebody could fake cry and like fake apologize."
The Laura thing.
And then they showed the YouTuber who. Like,
oh yeah, that was funny though.
I know it was funny, but what I'm saying is like, don't say you're not directly like doing something when it blatantly was like by showing that. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The problem with it as well,
it's not a super big deal.
Yeah,
like, I don't want people to take it out of proportion.
Yeah,
I love the series.
The problem with it as well is that like people usually they don't go into things and like they don't watch things with an open mindset,
especially younger kids.
Especially not only that, but like if you really like somebody and you really like look up to them like and you hold them on a high standard, it's very impossible in like the mind of that person for them to do wrong, right? So like instead of watching it and being like, you know what, maybe that was wrong, even though he's a great person, it's like they can't think
it's like it's just I mean that's just how it is with like all people. Like if you like not worship, but if you love somebody and like this person's like your idol and you love them to death, like in your head they do no wrong, right? And it's so whenever they do wrong, people start to defend the person themselves rather than the argument that's being brought up against it, right? So people aren't defending the argument that people are making with Shane. They're defending Shane. Yeah, you get what I'm saying here? It's kind of hard to understand, but like I hope a lot of you can understand it. Yeah. If this video was about anybody else but Jake Paul, people would be going fucking insane about how he's calling him a sociopath, right? But because of Jake Paul, calling him a sociopath and a psychopath is okay all of a sudden, right?
Like because Jake was hated before, making it okay for people to do it against him. But Jake is just like
they're dismissing
just like everybody else. Do you know what I mean?
They're dismissing the accusations because they already don't like Jake Paul.
Exactly,
and that's what they're excusing on. But I mean, it sounds a lot. It's
not that big. Well,
I think it's really not that big of a deal. I think people are just kind of making it a lot deeper than what it seems.
Whoa! You're gonna make a series about Jake Paul on who he really is and like behind the camera. You know what I mean? But and then you say it's an 8-part series. You don't see Jake Paul until episode 5, and then the first 4 are talking about sociopaths.
Right.
It's like wait, hold on a second. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you got to think these videos are getting like 12 million views a pop. Easily. So there's gonna be backlash. He could be making a video about how good Christmas cookies are, and people are gonna get up in arms about it. You know what I mean? Just because there's so many people watching it,
it's impossible for everybody.
Nobody's gonna be happy. You know what I mean? And I don't want you to think that Blake and I are like upset about this or anything. We're just kind of discussing the topic at hand and giving our opinions on it. We're not like offended or upset or mad or anything at all like at Shane. We're just we're just discussing the topic at hand and kind of giving our thoughts on it. So
like for example, there was another clip where he's talking about like a Jake or a sociopath. There was something like he showed something, and then the next clip it flashes and it's a guy with a mask on with a bat like chasing. I'm like,
it's like Jake. It's like,
you know what I mean? I get he's doing it for like the horror effect because he wants to be entertaining. But I mean,
you can't be like Jake Paul's a sociopath and then play a clip of a guy like murdering somebody. It's like, whoa, I don't know if Jake's gonna murder anybody. Like I don't like Jake as much as the next guy, but I don't think he's gonna
and here's the
hit
thing.
somebody with an axe.
And here's if it wasn't going to 15 million people.
True. Real.
If it was going to 100 people, fine, whatever.
Right.
But this series is literally gonna impact not only Jake's career, but Shane's and probably the people around them, right?
Right.
So it's
and
like,
that one, the lady who's giving the discussion,
Yeah.
that, like the mental health lady.
yeah.
Or
If it wasn't going to 15 million people, it would be different. But because it is, that's why I think you have to be careful when it comes to adding random shit for it to be entertaining. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, you guys got to think, bro. Each episode on YouTube is getting like over time, like over the course of a week or so, probably 15 million views. TV shows in real life don't get those views. You know what I mean? On a like daily episode basis. Especially it being 2018 and so many people, like the whole like mental health topic and discussion is so sensitive right now, especially this year, that like to make an 8-part series that's like about an hour a piece, that's getting seen by 15 million people is a really edgy bold move in my opinion. But I mean, what better person to take that on than Shane? 'Cause I don't think anybody else really could do that on YouTube besides Shane because of the backlash that's gonna come no matter what. Because people like Shane could like be saying everything perfectly and people would still get pissed, you know? So
I agree with some of Logan's points.
in the video they were kind of discussing on how it's like you either are or you're not, when it's more of like a
everybody has this type of trait, but if you have it to this extreme, then maybe it's where it's at.
And
you know what I mean?
even like you guys don't know this, but even when our stream ended and Blake and I got done watching the Shane Dawson series, like off camera and everything, I literally said to Blake, I was like, "Whoa, dude! Like, am I a sociopath or a psychopath?" Like, I thought they both meant the same thing.
Exactly, and that's the issue, is that that's being told and thought to 15 million people, but it's not just 15 million people. It's the 15 million people and the information that they spread that to.
Right, and especially when it's like a majority of people under the age of 18 who aren't really already kind of like fully, like they're very impressionable. And even me as like a 21-year-old, you know, I think that I'm a pretty level-headed guy. Even after the video, I was like, holy shit, like, am I a psychopath? Am I a sociopath? I kind of feel like one right now, I'm not gonna lie. And especially when you're doing that, like Blake said, to 15 million people, and a lot of those people are younger, people are gonna, you know, kind of start second-guessing things. But let's pull up. I think Jake, surprisingly, Jake Paul had like a really good point about what was said here. You shouldn't be turning mental illness into entertainment. What I believe he's doing is trying to figure out what's going on inside of Jake Paul's mind. I don't think it's as bad as it seems to you. Maybe I'm not seeing it correctly. I think saying that Shane's like using it as entertainment is just probably one of the dumbest things ever. Like, he's not using it as he's not,
but that's okay.
No, I know, but when people say like he's using it as entertainment, they're like, they say it in like he's mocking it when he's not mocking it. You know, he's just using it as it's informing entertainment, if that makes sense. You know, this is supposed to kind of go inside the mind of Jake Paul, not sociopaths and psychopaths. So, like, the whole series, and he's been like clickbaiting and hyping it up about like Jake Paul. And he's the first 3 episodes are about like psychopaths, and it's like, okay, you're calling Jake Paul a psychopath, right?
Especially when the title and thumbnail have Jake in it.
Yeah, every single one's had Jake in it, pretty much. I'm pretty sure, actually.
Yeah.
Part 5. Yeah, it is a little odd that like
the
entire series is about Jake, but he doesn't come in until like 5 hours in. But I mean, who cares? He can, if he wants to stretch it out to 8 episodes, that's fine with me. Like, he's making content last longer. I don't care personally. I think that's just like YouTubers being YouTubers. Said, yeah, nothing weird about self-diagnosis of YouTubers' mental state for YouTube views. Being sarcastic, obviously. I dislike Jake Paul, but you'll never catch me trying to give him a mental diagnosis. That's a line I think is incredibly weird to cross for a couple YouTube views. Seems sociopathic. And then Shane said, it was something me and him both talked about and he was aware of the whole time, which I'm addressing. For me, it's more of a study of why he is the way he is. The sociopath element was added because it can explain a lot and open up the conversation. And Jake said, I guess the only thing I'm concerned about is that you still haven't made it clear that you are determining whether or not I'm a sociopath. See, and that's the part that I thought made a lot of sense. Like, the way it comes off, at least to me and my family, is that you're already labeling me as a sociopath, and this tweet comes off that way as well.
It's pretty much, exactly. It's saying, what Jake is saying, like, it's hard to, I guess it's not hard to decipher what he's saying, but what he's saying pretty much is like, Shane, he's not making a series about whether Jake is one or not. I'm making a series on Jake is a sociopath, and here's why, and here's what it looks like behind the camera. You know what I mean?
Paul, It's got
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing too. It was titled "The Dark Side of Jake Paul,"
talking about sociopaths.
and then like the entire video was like sociopath. It's like, oh, so the dark side of Jake Paul is being a sociopath. Like,
Shane Dawson's
I just feel like
video,
is
the
it clearly
dark
like
side
labeling
of
Jake as a
Paul.
sociopath? See,
For
I
example,
talked about that.
I know,
I
that's
literally
what I'm
said
saying.
that. Those of you who watched our stream of watching the first episode or the second episode, I literally said that. I was like, the descriptions and like the terms that she's like using and that they're using to describe a sociopath and psychopath is so vague that you can apply it to anybody. Like, do you guys remember that? Do you remember when I said? I feel like that's kind of how this is too. Like, it's really, really broad statements. No matter like what person you try, Blake, for example, right? And you could connect like all the things he said and done to all the different sociopathic tendencies.
Make it out to where
make it out to where like, whoa, Blake's a sociopath, or even Shane. You could like, whoa, Shane's a because like, the questions and like the theories are so broad that it always like you can always find a way to connect it if you try to, you know. That
it's like, oh, like you hurting yourself, and it shows like him getting a tattoo on his back.
Yeah,
and it's like, wait,
what?
so if you get a tattoo, then you're a sociopath?
Yeah,
like it doesn't make sense.
That's another thing too. Is like the 1 in 25 thing. Like I was like, we had like almost 25 viewers in the chat, and I was like, okay, 1 in 25, like holy shit. Somebody in the chat or Blake and I are sociopaths. Everyone at school is pointing fingers at each other because they're 1 in 25. Yeah, exactly. That means like you're in the classroom. One of like the kids in the classroom is a psychopath or a sociopath.
I first want to apologize to my brother.
So they just type in sad and they pick
It's
one?
like, of course, if you're making a sad video, you're gonna play sad music. You know what I mean? It's like just, a 10-year-old knows that.
They're mimicking.
Yeah.
They're honing their craft, kind of. So if they're not very good at it, they won't elicit the right response out of you.
Her fans are not happy.
See, but
that was funny though when he did that. That was
funny.
funny. Once again, just using YouTube clips for context. It's like,
come on,
you did that, like, you know what I mean?
We're saying we're not
like, just own up to it. It's funny to joke about it, but just own up to it.
Because a lot of people watch videos they already have in their mind what it's gonna be. Like people watch the Jake video already knowing Jake's gonna be a bad person. They hate Jake.
Right.
Like before like actually opening their mind and being like, maybe he's right type thing.
That's a good point. Like before they even started watching the Jake Paul series, like you said, they already went into it looking to build him out as a sociopath, right? They didn't go into it like, I wonder if he is, or like I wonder like how like the symptoms and stuff like that he's like. They didn't go in it level-headed. They went in it with the mindset of Jake's a sociopath and Shane's here to prove that he is, you know. And it's a dangerous mindset in my opinion. Hey everybody, this is a clip from one of our live streams. If you want to make it out to one of our live streams, you can follow us on Twitch or you can hit the notification bell on YouTube. We stream on both at the same time. Hope to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like for us and a comment. We read every single comment. Every single comment. See you guys.